Hey, welcome back. I never know what to say after that. Welcome back. Period. That's how it works. Doing this episode of Diary of a Diva Boss, and I'm calling this Upcycle Your Life. Lately, I have been teaching a sewing class and planning the season for I Colori dell'Opera. I have ordered a planner for the last 6 months of 2020, and one of the things that I thought was funny is that why am I planning the rest of 2020? We're probably going to be inside because people are still protesting wearing masks. With that said, I thought that a good idea for me would be to upcycle my plans and get ready for 2021 when we can go outside. The thing is now is that I'm a person that always has been taught to plan for the worst and hope for the best. Is this the worst? Don't know if there was anything in my plans that would have come to this point or had prepared me for there. Really, there's no way to have prepared me for this. So I basically had to roll with the punches and modify my ideas, which is something that you have to do anyway. Don't I watch all of those rom-coms or in the sitcoms where a thing goes wrong and it's pretty major, but they're just devastated, and we have a whole episode about them finding themselves. And honestly, it would be just nicer if I was on that sitcom and would just say, look, you just need to upcycle your plans. That's all you got to do. So I'm going to just say what I've been doing, and I don't consider myself one of those people who sits and says, you know what, let me come up with the next best thing. I do that for education. I'm just waiting for the next idea to pop in my head so I can reuse the ideas from 5 years ago and just put a snazzy new name on it. But anyway, these are not new things that I've come up with. This is just what I do. So I condensed it into a 3-step plan. We don't want too many more steps because then it sounds like you're needing to go to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. And I don't at the moment. We'll see. No, we won't. We will not see. There's the 3 steps that I have been doing. I plan and develop those plans. And the developing the plans, I don't just sit down and say, today, here are my plans. It typically takes place over time. And even now, I've remembered some plans that were in another notebook that another agenda that I didn't transfer. And I say, oh, okay, let me write this down and let me add this and let me do that. And so then I go and develop those plans. But the plan and develop is very important. So it's important to just at least write something down. It doesn't even have to be in an agenda like I have. I like my agenda because it's pretty. So you have to plan and develop. Then it's time to save. And this is the point where everybody is like, well, I don't have any money. And I don't actually mean save money. That's helpful. That is really helpful. I wish I had more money. I wish I could save more money. And I save what I can. But what I'm talking about is save up those ideas, save up those connections you've made with people, save up those experiences that you can apply to something you're wanting to do in the future. And in this case, I'm talking about entrepreneurship. And then money really determines what you're going to be able to do. If you're good at talking and meeting people, then you'll be able to find possible investors, or you'll be able to get a small business loan, or trying to transfer careers, things like that. You're saving up those experiences. Save up the money, the ideas. When somebody throws something out that sounds interesting and you're like, I should look into that. Write it down, save that idea. So ideas are just as important as saving money, because you can have all the money in the world, and if you have a undeveloped plan, it might fail. It has a higher percentage failure rate if you don't plan adequately. And then the last step is go do it. Everything in life requires a certain amount of risk. And if you don't take any risks, nothing happens. And maybe I am just basking in the light of Hamilton lately. I think the world movers and shakers. That phrase, where did that even come from? The world movers and shakers are, you know, equal parts Hamilton and Burr. If you look at if you're going by the musical, if you're going by, history. Huh. I didn't think of that. So, Burr. I feel like Burr was an opportunist. And so you do have to look for those opportunities and those ways to get your foot in the door. So, in a way, Burr is not really the bad guy unless you look at it from Hamilton and Eliza's point of view. Hamilton was definitely a go-getter. Hamilton definitely traveled to the beat of his own drum, which is why I think it's fitting that there's a musical about him, and it's mostly rap and R&B and hip-hop. Okay, let's back up. Go. The wait for it phase is that where you're planning and developing and you're saving your money and ideas. But as soon as you say, oh, there's an opening, go. And you're not going to be, I promise that opening does not ever happen when you're ready for it to happen. There is a pandemic, and I started my opera company right at January 1st, 2020. I pressed the button on the on the website and it's boop. And I was saying, okay, the only thing I need to worry about right now is developing the curriculum and getting the teachers together for the Summer Institute. And then after that, I can start planning the season. And we can make sure everything is beautiful and lovely. And then March happened, and then there was a pandemic. The pandemic was happening way before that. The point I'm trying to make, and even with my music career, I was a singer in high school. I was in band jasmine choir at my school, and so music was a very big part of my life. At first I thought maybe I would be a concert pianist, but you have to practice for that, and what do I not do very often? Practice piano. Being a concert pianist is not actually within my reach within the next 5 years. I also was planning on going to a totally different field. I've said this in a previous video, so you can go back and watch that. You should go back and watch it. The way I got into the path of going into music is I took a chance. I looked in a course catalog for a community college, and it said if you want to take voice lessons at this college, then you need to call this number. The lady called me back and she said, "Hi, I got your message." It really was just go. Something happened when I was ready to get my master's degree. I said, I wonder if I can get a master's degree in music. I don't want to go back and do a bachelor's degree. Can I just do my master's? And literally I looked up random requirements at different universities in the area, and there was one that said, no, you don't have to have this, but you must have these requirements. And lucky for me, my teacher was she was forward thinking, and she said, you might need this one day. And I said, okay. And then guess what? I needed it. That was just a random thing that moved me forward. But everything from that point, from the point that I got my master's degree, I said, okay, I have to start being strategic about this. Everything is not going to fall into my lap. And honestly, only about 2 things in my life have fallen into my lap. And those 2 things are student loan debt and having to buy a car. Adulting fell into my lap. 3 things. That's all I have to say. I'm going to be upcycling 2020, and in 2021 I'm just going to make that my year. I don't know what this is. I don't like it. I don't want to do it again. And also it's raining outside, and that's why I'm not outside. Rainy days and not Monday always gets me down. I could sing the whole song, but I don't know the words. Y'all, let's upcycle 2020. I'm not even an optimistic person, and it desperately needs some upcycling. Like it needs ribbons and lace and glitter and sparkles and human rights. That's literally it. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time.